Welcome back, guys. This is Dr. Chani Singh and you're watching Synergy Education Ielts. So today I'm here with some amazing lexical words related to the topic health. And before I start explaining you these words, let me just give a brief description about how these words are important for you. Many times candidates have experienced questions or different essays related to the topic health, and this topic remains forever important. So these words, I've just shortlisted few words that you can use anywhere in a topic in an essay related to health and score really high bands. So without wasting any time, I'll just start sharing these words with you. The very first word is already on your screens, which is rudimentary. Now rudimentary means something that is very basic or something that is in its undeveloped form. Anything, you can just relate this word to anything that is in undeveloped form. That could be a tool, that could be equipment, or you can even say rudimentary thoughts. Now rudimentary thoughts means undeveloped thoughts. It is just opposite to modern. So particularly talking about health, I'll just give you an example related to health. The example says primary health centers in rural India are provided with rudimentary equipments, which is one possible reason for overcrowding in civil hospitals. Now this example is out of my experience, and I'm sure generally Indians have experienced such kind of situations, that in civil hospitals there are many patients and only less number of doctors or medical professionals to treat these patients. The reason is that in dispensaries or in primary health centers, doctors are not provided with modern equipments, and therefore patients who are suffering from some serious conditions are shifted to these particular hospitals. So you can also use this idea in any kind of essay if the idea is relevant. So I hope that the word is clear with you, the idea is clear with you. Moving on to synonyms related to this word. Rudimentary, you can also use another word for this, crude or primitive. Crude is another word that can be used instead of rudimentary, and primitive also means rudimentary. So these three words can be used alternatively. Moving on to my next word, which is unhampered. Now unhampered means uncontrolled, something that cannot be controlled. A situation that is not under our control is referred to as unhampered. Synonym for unhampered is unrestrained. Example for this is COVID-19 became the most unhampered situation in the history of mankind. Very simple example, and I hope all of you can relate to this because we all are somehow suffering from this problem. So moving on to next word, basically I'll be sharing three different terms here: outbreak, epidemic and pandemic. These are little different but still connected with each other. Outbreak generally means an unexpected occurrence of a disease in a society. An unexpected occurrence of a disease in a society. Now if the situation is not controlled, it soon becomes epidemic. If this situation is not controlled, it becomes epidemic. Epidemic means a quick rise in number of cases in the community or in a society. And if this spread occurs within different countries or around the globe, it is called pandemic, and COVID-19 is the latest example of a pandemic caused around the globe. So this is how these three terms are different. Outbreak is the first stage basically where a disease occurs unexpectedly among the society, and if this disease is limited to some number of people and it is controlled, then it stays there. But if it is not controlled, then it becomes epidemic, which means a spread rise, a quick spread in number of patients of that particular disease in the society. And if this number of cases spreads to different countries, then it becomes a pandemic. I hope now it is clear with you. I'll just give you an example. Many impoverished lost their lives due to lack of food and shelter during this pandemic. I repeat, many impoverished lost their lives due to lack of food and shelter during this pandemic. Another example is economic crisis is an obvious drawback of this pandemic. Now, these were the two examples. Moving on to my next word, that is cognition. Now, cognition means mental awareness. Mental awareness of an individual is called cognition. This includes thought process, thinking, understanding, then remembering of things. So cognition is generally affected by drug abuse, then alcohol use. I'll just give you an example. Cognition may be affected by drug and alcohol use, or cognition may be affected by old age. These are two simple examples. Cognition simply means a mental awareness of an individual, and you can use this word in essays related to drug abuse or old age people. So moving on to my next word, that is deterioration. Now, deterioration simply means worsening of a situation. Example is mental and physical health deteriorates with old age. I repeat, mental and physical health deteriorates in old age. Deteriorates means worsening of a situation, and it is not that you can use this term only in health, but otherwise also. If you want to explain the worsening of a situation, you can use this word, deteriorate. Moving on to my next word, that is hallucinations. Now, what is this hallucinations? Hallucinations basically is an illusion of a vision. What happens is sometimes in cases, patients feel an object or feel something that is not physically present in front of their eyes. That situation is called hallucinations. I repeat, they feel something that is not physically present in front of their eyes. It is called illusion of vision, and illusion means dhokha, aankhon ka dhokha. Basically, example is extreme drug addiction may lead to frequent hallucinations. Patients, you could have heard that patients who are drug addict do suffer from such kind of situations. Now, next two terms, acute and chronic. Now, acute and chronic both refers to pain, but acute is a pain caused due to a recent injury or a recent accident, whereas chronic is a long-lasting pain that exists since years, since many years. Now, example of chronic pain is chronic low back pain. Patients generally, people basically, middle-aged people or old-age people generally suffer from this problem, that is chronic low back pain. Now, you can use this particular term in essays related to old age. For example, there is an essay where they ask you about the multinational companies usually hire youngsters. They should hire elders as well because they have more experience. So in such kind of essays, you can explain that multinational companies generally demand long lasting work, long working hours. Sorry, they generally demand long working hours, and elders are not much capable of sitting for long hours because they generally suffer from problems like chronic low back pain. So this is one point that you can somehow explain in this particular essay. This is an example that suddenly came into my mind, and I have explained you that. Otherwise, wherever you feel that this point is relevant, you can use this point. Okay, next word is narcotics. Narcotics means illegal drugs. Illegal drugs, example is heroin. So drugs that are banned legally are narcotics. So narcotics should be strictly banned by regulating bodies, or narcotics should be strictly banned by governing bodies. This is an example. Now I'll move on to my next particular word, that is fatigue. Now fatigue means tiring out of excessive work. So if you feel tired out of excessive work, physical work or mental work, you can use this word fatigue. Fatigue could be physical or mental. So example is regular exercise is your best defense against fatigue, or another example is fatigue can be abolished by regular exercise. Abolished means diminished or eliminated. So fatigue can be abolished by regular exercise, or fatigue can be eliminated by regular exercise. So yes, these were few words that I wanted to share with you. Now these words are related to health. You can use these words in different essays related to health. Now you should just practice these words, learn these words, and also practice few essays related to health particularly, so that you learn how you can make use of these words appropriately. Thank you for watching this video, and if it was helpful for you, do hit the like button and don't forget to share it with your friends. I'll be coming with another video where I'll be sharing with you a list of vocabulary on another topic. So thank you for watching. Stay happy, goodbye, and good luck.